Hello everybody and welcome to episode 22 of Estate Planning TV. I'm your host, Christopher Small, and this is the internet's most passionate show about estate planning. Thank you for being here. We got some interesting stuff to talk about today, and it's something that comes up every time we have a new president, basically, but something to really be cognizant of and be thinking of, and it's kind of like when things start to happen or you think might happen in the stock market. You're going to be careful not to run away too fast, to sell when the market's low and to buy when it's high. You don't want to do that. And some of these choices that you can make when these tax reform ideas come through can make a big difference in the amount of taxes that you end up paying, the amount of hardship your family has to endure to try to unravel the crazy things you put together, and also just the worry and frustration that you experience trying to figure out how to deal with these problems. So, this week, I think earlier this week, maybe late last week, President Trump, in the House of Representatives, they sort of unveiled their ideas for tax reform for the future. And there were a bunch of things in there that are sort of interesting, to say the least. But one of them dealt with estate taxes in particular. And the idea with the estate tax reform project that they or bill that they want to propose is phasing out the estate tax over time. They want to ramp it up even more than it already is, from 5.48 million per person up even more, and then eventually phase it out so there's no more estate taxes in play. And immediately people are calling, they are emailing, they want to know, should I update my plan? How does this affect my plan? Should I even worry about planning for estate taxes? Does it even matter? All this kind of stuff. And what I wanted to do with this video was kind of give you some ideas, maybe a game plan, a way to approach these ideas and these changes when they come about, so that you are not acting too quickly or acting too slowly. You're sort of like, oh my goodness, I can't even remember the name of the little nursery rhyme or the little story, but it's the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? You want the porridge that's just right, and that's what we're talking about here. So, first things first. It's important to really remember, and this is maybe the too hot. This is when it's too hot, okay? When these ideas first come out, there is really no way of knowing whether or not they're actually going to become a law. There's no way to know if they're actually going to come to fruition, if these things are going to pass, if they're going to actually become real or not. As we've seen with this political climate, there have been a lot of ideas by a lot of people that have ended up not panning out. So the first thing that you want to be careful of is not acting too quickly just based on the statements of some of the people in charge and the things that they wish would happen. Okay? We don't do estate planning based on wishes, we do it based on reality. And the reality is right now the law is still the same. So if you died anytime soon, you would still be subject to the same estate tax laws that you were before these ideas came out. So I think it's really important not to act too quickly, hoping or relying on the statements that people are making. All right. Now that's one spectrum. Then on the other spectrum, you don't want to wait too long either, right? So if the law is passed, if things happen, then you want to make sure that you are on top of things, because if the law passes and then the next day you die, well, you could be stuck, right? Or you could have done some planning that doesn't really work in the way that you wanted to now that there are these new rules in place. So you don't want to wait too long either, right? You want this middle, you want this just right scenario. And what I would propose that you do is just pay attention to what's going on in the government, and if these laws actually do pass, at that time you'll actually be able to see what the substance is, and I'll probably get on here with another episode of Estate Planning TV and tell you what they are, so that you can go read and Google it too. But you'll know exactly what the law is, because my guess is it's not going to be what they propose now. These things go through all kinds of changes. There's all kinds of negotiations. People are hemming and hawing about what they're going to do. So you never know how it's going to turn out. But once you have that bill in place that you know has passed, and you know what it looks like, there will be a date when it's enacted, right? There'll be a date when it comes into force. And in the interim between when the law is passed and when it comes into effect, then you have that time to do your planning, to make changes if you need to strategize, to consider what those changes mean to you personally and your estate plan personally, your family, and then you can make the changes that you need to make. All right, so don't get too bent out of shape about these proposed changes, or don't get too happy about these proposed changes either, because in some ways they change the game, but in some ways they don't. Okay, maybe that'll be an episode, what we'll talk about next week. Right, something that will never change no matter what changes federally with the estate taxes. If you live in Washington State, some things are always going to stay the same. All right, so that's it. Hopefully stay tuned next week. We'll talk about that. And really appreciate you being here. Appreciate your time. If you like this episode, maybe you can tell me so down below. Leave a comment, or shoot me an email. Come and check out my Facebook page. If you need help with estate planning or probate, trust administration, please call 206-659-1512, or you can email me, chris@cmslawfirm.com. I would love to help you out, and I would love to talk to you and learn about your family, your goals, your dreams, and show you how we can make your legacy long-lasting and very fruitful. All right, that is it. Have a great day.